beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. You take one down, you pass it around, 98 bottles of beer on the wall.
All right, next up we're going to have Robert Starling with Tooka. And I'd like to pretend that I know something about your pitch, but I don't, Sarah. So why don't you come on up and let's make this happen with our judges. I think you guys have some AV material that he's handing out to you right now. And Robert, here you go. You got 6 minutes to pitch and 4 minutes to have him feedback. Oh, this is cool.
All right. This is a great opportunity, and I must admit my favorite beer is root beer. So, particularly A&W. All right, I'm not here looking for typical investors. I'm looking for impact investors. And that's people who not only want to make money, but they want to make a difference. I've heard that most people don't invest in companies, they invest in people. So I want to tell you 3 little quick people stories. First, there's Ted. Ted grew up in my home state of Georgia, now AKA Hollywood East. In 1970, he had a small TV station in Atlanta. In a bold move, he bought some time on broadcast satellites to share his programming with other stations around the country. He made a fortune. What was that programming? Well, at first he could only afford getting old movies and TV shows like I Love Lucy or Gilligan's Island and a canceled NBC show called Star Trek. He got enough ratings that the advertisers soon flocked to him and brought their dollars. Ted Turner, created the Turner Broadcasting System, Turner Classic Movies, and started CNN, the first all-news channel. He created a revolution in broadcasting. Then there's Robert, that's me, Robert Starling. I grew up in Georgia. I attended Georgia Tech, which was just a few blocks down the street from where Turner Broadcasting would originate a few years later. I worked at TV stations in Georgia. I worked in statewide educational television network. Then I moved to California and worked in movie production. I was a producer at NBC in Burbank. By the way, this is a little more expansive brochure. My email's on the back of that. I can send you a copy of that. That's if you're really blown away by my presentation. At NBC, I worked in network advertising promotion. I was part of a team there that brought that network from number 3 to number 1 in the first year I was there. And the third person I want to tell you about is Sam. Sam grew up a long way from Georgia in Persia, also known as Iran. He became an engineer. He fled an oppressive regime there, made his way across Europe to the UK and then California, now lives in Washington, D.C. Sam contacted me about 2 years ago and shared his vision for a revolution in Iran. Not one with guns and bombs, but one that would capture the hearts and minds of the entire people. All I knew about Iran was Ayatollahs with nuclear ambitions, funding terrorism. Sam showed me a different side. Over 60% of today's Iranians are young parents under 30, with lots of little children. Despite the anger and hatred voiced by their leaders in that country, most of the people love America. They want to imitate our lifestyle and our culture. They yearn for the freedoms that we take for granted. These wonderful people are on the verge of changing their national leadership and their culture, and we can help them in a way that can also change the world. There are over 140 million people in Iran and Afghanistan who speak Persian or Farsi. There are over 1 million more Iranian expatriates in cities around the world. Together, that's the same number of people who speak German, equal to about half the population of the United States. There are 31 independent satellite TV channels now broadcasting in Farsi from the US, the UK, and Dubai. 70% of the homes in Iran use satellite dishes to get their primary entertainment and news. But only 2 or 3 of those channels have any children's programming. The majority of those are state-owned propaganda channels, the kind that show Mickey Mouse killing Jews. Enter Tooka TV. Our free satellite channel will broadcast family and children's programs 24/7 to an audience that's starved for something they can watch It's not government propaganda shouting death to America all the time. Like Ted Turner, we'll begin by licensing inexpensive older American children's TV series like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood or Captain Kangaroo, shows that paint a kinder, gentler picture of America. And vintage family programs like The Waltons, Happy Days, or The Brady Bunch. But they'll be brand new for this Farsi-speaking audience. They've never seen them before. Now, Ted Turner's not part of our team, except maybe as a spirit guide. But we do have other seasoned broadcast professionals to make Tooka TV a success. Robert Hatch is a producer with credits at the BBC, Discovery Channel, PBS, and so on. Cameron Moji is a well-known radio and TV star in Iran who fled the Islamic Revolution and is now working in Los Angeles. Jabbar Ghanim is CEO of Global Translation Systems. His company specializes in translation, localization, and voice dubbing of movies and TV programs in both Arabic and Farsi. That's what we're going to be doing in our program. Ted Phillips knows advertising. He worked with the David Evans Agency and has managed other advertising agencies in Atlanta, San Francisco, and Salt Lake. He's won lots of awards in the industry. Like Ted Turner's broadcasting revolution, we expect that Tooka TV will be very profitable. Our research into the ad revenues of similar Farsi-speaking satellite channels indicate that even in a worst-case scenario, we'll bring in at least $4 million in advertising in our first year, potentially as high as $13 million. Our investors will be repaid and will be profitable within 36 months or less. Tooka TV will make money, but more importantly, it'll make a difference. Everybody talks world peace, but Tooka TV will actually do something about it. Our goal is not only to entertain, but to bring peace and goodwill to that part of the world, 1 million children at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Excellent presentation. Thank you. I love the whole idea of a back to Americana and starting in that neck of the world. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions from our judges?
Hey, thank you for what you're doing. I definitely see the value in it, and I can certainly understand your approach. I see two major challenges, though. I spent 18 months working in Afghanistan, and I understand the technological, first of all, challenges of a country like that. They don't have televisions, they don't have satellite, some houses barely have radio. The second challenge I see is you have theocracies there that are heavily controlled by their religious preferences and their hatred of America. How are you going to get authorization to pipe your broadcasting into those nations given the controls that are in place there?
The beauty of satellite broadcasting is that you don't have anything on the ground. You don't have to have authorization. Like I said, there are already 31 channels broadcasting in the Farsi language from the satellites into that area. And we would just be another satellite channel. Now, they can try to jam some of the stuff if they want to. And if things like that are really against the prevailing theological standards, they would try to broadcast them. But the things that we're going to do are very innocuous, very wholesome activities. There won't be any real and easy. We're not going to be political. We're not going to try to, incite people. We're just going to show entertainment program that happens to be warm fuzzy about America.
You talked a little bit about the translation in the Farsi, how many people speak it. These are English programs, so are you going to do some English and Farsi, or it's all translated?
Right now our plans are all Farsi.
And then, so is that a majority of the cost? So is a lot of your expense for what you're doing the translation, or the licensing, or the broadcasting?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is your challenge with the cost related to the translation, the licensing, or the broadcasting?
Those all three will be costs that we will be incurring.
So if I'm understanding correctly,
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
there's a little echo in here. If I'm understanding correctly, the strategy is to license existing content, right, and just dump it into Farsi. Is there any longer term
plan for any kind of original content, something that may be more culturally relevant to the people that would be consuming it, versus, say, a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood that's kind of American-centric?
Yes, because of the Iranian members of our team, we will have a good insight as to the kinds of things that will be appealing. And initially, 90% of our program will be things that we license, but we will do a few original programming shows. And as we gain more momentum and get more income coming in, we'll be in a position to do more original programming.
Yeah, could you expand a little bit on how you're going to generate revenue?
Yes, through ad sales. We've identified we've done research into the top advertisers that are already purchasing 30-second TV spots on the existing channels that are going in there. We've made comparisons of what we can get. The cost of a 30-second spot on these different channels ranges from $40 to $150 for a 30-second spot, depending on the time of day, popularity of the show, etc. We've calculated that if we only sell 20% of the available time slots that we have for 30-second spots at the lowest figure, $40 a piece, we'll bring in $3.9 million in the first year. And our capital that we're trying to raise is right in the neighborhood of around $5 million to get this started in our first year's operating expenses.